Welcome to Dynamo Dynamics, winning goals to digital dominance. I'm your host, Danny Perry, and with me as always is my guy, Kai Peterson. And Kai, our predictions were off.
Yeah, just a little bit. On a few things. It's going great. Champions League semifinals are on right now. The games are exciting.
You're just going to skip right over that Dynamo Master Class.
No, I'm just. It's a good time of the year. The weather hasn't hit us too hard yet. It's still pretty cool in Houston. Don't think I've ever said that in my life in May.
Right? But let's enjoy it while we have it.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it. But let's talk about things that we didn't enjoy as much. So Dynamo versus LAFC. LAFC has not beat the Dynamo in years. They haven't scored at the Dynamo against the Dynamo since 2022. So everything sets up perfectly for the Dynamo to go out there and crush them, and
we got crushed.
We got crushed.
It honestly was not a close game at all. It was 2-0.
Was it as bad as it looked?
It was
worse.
It was worse than the scoreline. If you look at the scoreline, they only lost 2-0, but if you go back and look at the game, I think we had 7 saves
in the first half.
Yeah.
So that lets you know how many shots they were getting. Good
and
shots
they were
on
quality.
target.
Yeah.
And our keeper, if it was not for Bond, it would have been really, really, really ugly.
Yeah.
So that was not one to really talk that much about. My God, I'm not sure what's going on with the team, but the defense is not good.
Not good right now.
Not good.
Yeah.
And where we stand in the schedule or in the table.
We're 14th, so one from the bottom.
Not good.
Not good. But the only good thing is we just talked about earlier, we're like 3 points back from 10th. So, I mean, we get a 2-game win streak, we could be in the playoff contention.
God, but we were 4 games unbeaten going into this. Mm-hmm. 2 draws, 2 wins, 2 draws. And I don't know about a win streak, though. You know, I mean, it was win, draw, win. Now loss. So I'm just struggling to find a 2-game win streak right now, especially thankfully, I mean, upcoming match, we have the Cup US Open Cup match against Phoenix Rising, a USL team. But you could take that 2 ways. It's either a time for us to regroup and get ourselves focused for the MLS, or are we shifting our attention already to try to get some, silverware for this season and focusing on the Cup? It's a dilemma.
Yeah, I say focus on MLS.
You better. We have more MLS matches.
Yeah,
but it's looking pretty dire, man.
Agreed.
It's just not from such a promising season into the season last season to the beginning of this season. Is just,
and things seem to be clicking past 4 games. Like we showed some light of the attack of our defense stepping up, but then it was just like all thrown out the window this past game. It felt
it really was,
because please go watch the highlights. It felt like every time you just were watching, they were in an attacking position, a good position too, and
getting
quality
really good shots.
Counterattacks, we were getting killed on the counter. And we couldn't beat their press either. We were giving the ball up so easily, and
not a good look all the way around. Especially, we were the antidote for LAFC's woes. Now we need somebody to be ours. So I'm not sure who that's going to be, because looking at the upcoming, we have the Cup match, but then after that it is
Minnesota.
No,
Vancouver?
It's our old nemesis, the
Seattle.
Sounders. The Sounders coming to Houston.
Yeah.
That should be fun. Followed by Minnesota and then FC Dallas. So nothing easy anywhere in that at all.
We need points. A draw against Seattle right now would be a win in my book.
I'd almost take a draw against everybody right now.
I know. The only one we need to win is FC Dallas. Yeah. We need to go drive down to Dallas and beat them. But do you have any predictions for, the Cup? And I guess also Seattle, because that's this weekend.
Yeah, we have the Cup
Wednesday
of this week, and then That's an interesting question because I know nothing about the USL team. So, 1-1. 1-1.
I'm gonna go
1-1 draw in the cup. Well, no, it can't end in a draw, can it? I don't even know the rules. Okay, I'm gonna go. I think I've said this so many times. I'm going 1-0 Dynamo.
Yeah, I've said this one so many times. I'll switch it up. USL team, they're not ready for the MLS. We're gonna go in there and kill them 3-0.
3. Wow.
3-0 Dynamo.
All right, that could be the antidote then.
That gives us a good way
momentum.
to start. Good momentum. Good way to roll into the weekend, and then we will beat Seattle 1-0 this weekend
at home against Seattle, who we can never seem to beat ever.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know about that one. All right. I'm gonna still be on the optimistic side. You know what? I'm gonna be extra optimistic.
Okay.
I'm going 2-1 Dynamo at home against the Seattle Sounders.
Sounds good to me.
Take that, Sounders fans. Feel free to castigate us afterwards if we're wrong, but we're not going to be wrong.
No, we'll be right.
This is at the start of a streak.
Yeah.
It's the start of a streak.
It's getting started this week.
We need a 1-game winning streak. That'll work for me. All right. Well, there's a lot else going on though too. We've got the NBA playoffs that kicked off, and the first round ended this weekend, and also the Champions League. So, I guess as far as the NBA is concerned, as far as basketball is concerned, God, if you have a Houston on your jersey, it's just depressing for the last month, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get to the championship of the NCAAs and, lay an egg and take Golden State, in this case, all the way to a Game 7 and lay another egg. And I don't know. What were your thoughts?
That game, I mean, that series, it was just really expertise versus young athletes.
Yeah, absolutely.
More athletic team in Houston. Probably the better team right now. Yeah. But it's like when you go play in
old guys at
the YMCA who are all in their 50s or 60s. They know how to move the ball. They have the IQ, and it showed.
Yep, and they use their strength when they need to, and they'll foul you, and all of those things to get into your head. And Golden State did all of that, in spades. I think overall it was a pretty good series. Well, no,
it was exciting.
It was a good series from the Rockets' perspective because you could see them grow from game 1 to game 2, and game 2 to game 3, and game 4 they should have actually won that game, but that Golden State experience at the end took them down. Then the fight back, man. They
down
faced
3-1.
3 straight elimination games and took it to a Game 7. So there's a lot to learn in that for a young team.
Agreed.
But they need some things. So, I mean, what do you think the Rockets need?
We said it earlier. We need a shooter. We need a consistent shooter that can knock down shots. I mean, right now we have a bunch of guys who can shoot, but inconsistently.
Agreed.
Not a high percentage. Some nights they'll give you 30. Yeah. Some nights they'll give you 5.
Looking at you, Jalen Green.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. I think they need someone who can consistently knock down a shot, someone who can close the game out, roll the ball out in the last 5 minutes of the game, and that guy's getting the ball basically every time, and can hit some shots, get to the line, and take you through matches or through games like that.
Yeah.
But the inconsistency of, I think Jalen Green is awesome, man. I think he, when he's on, he's just a unstoppable scorer, but he could score 38 as you saw in game 2, or literally nothing.
He just scores in volumes
of the series, and so that has some consistency has to happen there, and I think we're going to be fine. But I think we have a star in the making in Amin Thompson.
Yeah, definitely.
That guy was spectacular throughout.
We need to keep him for sure.
Yeah, untouchable.
Yeah,
untouchable. No matter who you're talking about trading for, that guy stays. So anything catch your eye on the rest of the playoffs?
I mean, the Timberwolves beating the Lakers, I guess, was probably the biggest in the first round. That was the biggest story. Yeah. But the Timberwolves look good.
Yes, they do.
I'm actually excited to watch them play. They're an exciting team. Anthony Edwards is probably one of the most athletic players in the league. And
he is that dude.
He likes to talk, and it's fun.
Love it. I think they could really make a pretty deep run. I think,
because they have Golden State now, and
they do. And I think the T-Wolves have been in the playoffs the last couple of seasons, so
they have
it's
more
not
veteran
the
guys.
same
Yeah.
as going against the Rockets, one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yeah.
So Golden State is in for they've got some work, and plus they're flying there. They flew there direct from Houston, and one day off in between. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to. But as you saw in the first game ones of the other series, it was upsets all around.
Yeah.
So
it's exciting. It's good.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. So we shall see. Any predictions on who's going to take it all in the NBA? Any hopes on who?
I'd say the Timberwolves are just a fun team to watch right now.
I can agree with that. It would be good to see a team that hasn't won it before win it.
Yeah.
Pacers are playing pretty good ball as well. I wouldn't mind seeing them come.
But I think when Cleveland
figures it out.
Yeah, I don't know how long that series is going to stay, but I'd like to see the Pacers move on as well. But talking about upsets, I guess we can go Champions League upsets.
The Champions League.
Was it really an upset?
Do we have to talk about it?
I think it was an upset. But in Champions League this past week, we saw, I'll start with the more exciting game, which we did not expect. Barcelona Inter Milan, which is on right now, and that first game ended 3-3. Crazy game.
That was an insane game. I guess Inter is just they're an enigma to me, man. They you said it earlier, like it's Jose Mourinho ball, with the, just defend, counter, and hopefully get out with a 1-0 victory. But they're playing that, they're mucking up the game. It's like, but then they're scoring though.
Yeah.
Man. They're really scoring a lot of goals.
When they do get into those positions, they're scoring, and it's tough to beat.
It is. They look dangerous, and I know that they're playing. The leg 2 is on actually right now, and I think it was 2-2.
Yeah, 5-5 on aggregate. So
that's insane. That's so we'll see who actually comes out of that. But on the other side, Arsenal versus PSG was a real surprise to me, actually. I knew that going in with Thomas Partey being out, that it was going to mess us up in the middle of the field, and I think it did.
Yeah.
And we end up, I'm saying it as if we're all Arsenal fans. We are all Arsenal fans, aren't we? But we end up losing 1-0 at home. So for leg 2 tomorrow, we're going in. Arsenal's going in at a deficit, and basically have to score 2. Have to outscore them by 2.
Yeah, but I mean, like Thomas Muller said after Bayern went down to Inter in the first game, it's 1 goal.
It is.
It could be Inter scored in the first 30 seconds against Barcelona in their first leg. That's it could be 30 seconds. It could be 95 minutes.
True.
But you just need to get 1.
That I agree with. The PSG, what's the Parc des Princes? How's that stadium to play in?
I've heard it's tough. I don't know how the game's gonna pan out. I mean, y'all should come out pretty strong and have some kind of fire lit for sure.
Well, absolutely. Well, with Partey back in the lineup, you can now play Marino back at striker. You can get your lineup set the way you want to, rather than juggling it around. I think Arsenal will win it though. So you want to go ahead with predictions on the legs too? I mean, we already kind of know that.
Predictions right now: Barcelona will finish this game with a win, and actually, I think tomorrow's game will end in a draw.
Ooh, off to penalties?
No, draw in the match. I think a 1-1 draw, and I think PSG will win on aggregate.
Wow. I don't like that prediction at all. I will 2-0 to the Arsenal tomorrow, and I think Inter is going to win this match today. I think they're just looking the more dangerous team. They're looking like the most dangerous team in the whole Champions League bracket right now.
Maybe so. Well, y'all let us know what y'all think, because we got to run back out there and watch the rest of this game, because it's exciting. Yes, hopefully y'all get to watch some of the Champions League games as well and keep up with the MLS and NBA playoffs.
There you go. So hit us up on our socials. You know where to find us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week on Dynamo Dynamics. Thanks for joining.